Hey guys, it's Danny. Today we have a special video, I hope. We're gonna talk about one of my oldest orchids, the Cattleya Hawaiian Splash Lea. Now, this is not my oldest Cattleya. Let's say it's the second oldest Cattleya, together with two more Cattleyas that came in the same order. Now, I managed to mess up the audio the first time I shot this video, and now I cannot film outside because the angry men who were screaming yesterday started to scream once again today, and not only they have some angry machinery with them as well. Practically, my neighbor is still demolishing his house, so I'm going to record audio separately over the video or the footage that I just filmed. If anything else, the audio quality is actually better. So the Cattleya Hawaiian Splash Lea, I purchased her 4.5 years now. The first time I showed it in the video was in 2013, in May if I'm not mistaken, and I opened my YouTube channel in April 2014. So as you can see, I purchased 3 Cattleyas from, surprise, surprise, Schwerter. Yeah, I told you I started to order from them at a very, very early stage. And this was not my first order from Schwerter. It was the second, I think, or the third. But it was the very first time that I was ordering Cattleya orchids. And this little orchid just conquered my heart from the very first time I saw the picture. Now, in comparison to the other two, this one was extremely tiny. Also, the other two had a much lighter green color, and this one had dark green leaves, so she was special from the get-go. It arrived as a very beautiful looking plant, pretty bushy with 3 directions of growth, if I'm not mistaken. And P.S. I do still have the other 2 orchids as well, so I'm not sure if I should say it's the second oldest Cattleya. Anyway, it's an old Cattleya in my collection. Now, shortly after I purchased it, I did my first boo-boo with it, in the sense of burning her leaf. Hi guys, it's Danny. In this video, I just want to show you a little boo-boo that I made with my Cattleya orchid. I burned one leaf, and this is how a burnt leaf looks like. So, considering it's May, the sun shouldn't be that hot, but apparently it really is. So, lesson learned, I'd rather give it more shade than too much sun. Anyway, this is what I wanted to show you. This is how a burned leaf on a Cattleya looks like. Most probably this will dry out, I'm not sure. But anyway, just be careful with the sun. Even the most sun-loving plants can get sunburned. So, okay. There, a few months into my YouTube career, and I was already showing you my boo-boos. Well, it's part of orchid growing. No point in hiding it. We all know everybody messes up, whether you film it or not. So there we go, I managed to burn her leaf. It was the very first time that I actually burned a leaf of an orchid, because at the time I was reading that Cattleyas actually like very bright light, and I overdid it a little bit with direct sunshine. Anyway, it wasn't a big deal, and the orchid was absolutely not bothered by it, and shortly after it actually bloomed in June or July of the very same year. So let's see a little excerpt from that video. This is the 22nd of June. And one pseudobulb already bloomed, but I'm gonna wait for the other one to bloom as well, and I'll make a longer video about it. Hi, today is the 24th of June, and my Cattleya orchid is finally in full bloom, and she's absolutely gorgeous. 2 of the pseudobulbs have bloomed. Wasn't expecting it. And I also was expecting quite a bit more yellow to the petals. Even though on this video they appear to be white, they're actually yellow. But it's okay. It's a really nice hybrid. The flower itself is not that huge, as you can see. It's a tiny little bloom, and she's not fragrant. Apart from being cringy, it was slightly disappointed as well, because this orchid did not look like it was supposed to, like I saw in the picture. Where were the beautiful yellow splashes? They were gone, they were missing. But hey, I paid for it. I might as well suck it up and own it. So yeah, the first blooming of this orchid was not the most extraordinary experience. However, though, the orchid was very vigorous and it was growing very fast. And the second blooming this orchid had was grand. So here are some excerpts from that video. Hi everyone, it's Danny. So here we have the beautiful Cattleya Hawaiian Splash Lea. You may have seen it in my videos, I absolutely love it. It was love at first sight when I saw it and purchased it. And this year, it's really looking great. Now, I didn't find any real information on this particular hybrid. I have no idea who the parents are, have no idea who created it. It's not registered as far as I can tell. Its usual pattern is that it's a small type of Cattleya. As you can see, it's a sort of a mini Cattleya if you want. Also, the flowers are not huge. I would say they're a decent size, although, you know, Cattleyas can get quite large. This one is a tiny Cattleya, but the colors are absolutely fantastic. And I absolutely love the splashes of yellow, which are very good, very defined and vibrant this year on this very purple reddish background. So yes, you can see we have 3 canes blooming, and this is because the orchid was growing in multiple directions and it was doing so pretty fast. One of the canes bloomed with 5 flowers, and furthermore, the flowers were finally what I wanted. That beautiful combination of yellow, of orange and red and purple. It was absolutely fantastic. It made me fall in love with it. And the fact that one of the pseudobulbs had 5 flowers, you know, that was a bonus. So the orchid was looking finally spectacular and I absolutely loved it. And I wasn't the only one. My friend at the time, Cora, my orchid friend, she wanted a division of this orchid so much that I simply had to give her a division. So I was left with 2 directions of growth. Now, even though this orchid bloomed beautifully, it lacked something, a fragrance. I don't remember if when I purchased it, I was under the impression that it was fragrant. I don't think Schroeter ever said it was fragrant, but some sources on the internet suggest it is. Some shops, that is. I've never read anywhere that it is fragrant from people who grow it. Mine never was fragrant, so I really don't think it is. But there might be a strain out there which possesses a fragrance. If it does, then great, but I don't have it. So the display was beautiful, but there was no fragrance. That's okay though, I can get over no fragrance, obviously. The orchid herself was really pretty. Now, in time, I kind of figured out some stuff about this orchid. First of all, and I think I told you this in a video, maybe even in the spotlight video for this orchid, she blooms better when she blooms in colder months. It doesn't mean that she likes cooler temperatures. She grows just as well in the summertime, even in this climate. But the flowers look absolutely beautiful and a lot more colorful. Those splashes are yellower and bigger in cooler months. When this orchid blooms in the warmer months, it pretty much loses the intensity. The warmer it is, the less vivid the flower is. But she's not a winter bloomer. She can very well bloom in the spring and even in the summer. So, you know, it's always a lottery. But personally, I do prefer the winter blooms more. Also, I included it in a video that I made about peloric orchids, which I will share with you down below. In case you didn't notice, the splashes on this orchid are a copy of the pattern on the lip. There are many Cattleyas that have this peloria trait, and we don't usually call them peloric orchids because it would appear it's quite a stable gene and it can be passed over to other generations. So when you will find a splash Cattleya, in its name there will be nothing about peloria and stuff of the sorts. It will be splash or flush or something of the sorts. But it is actually derived from a sort of peloria trait, which I absolutely love. The bad trait of being a peloric orchid is that the flower doesn't open completely. If we look at it from a profile, we can see it's not extremely flat. There are Cattleya orchids that can have flat, straight, beautiful flowers. The flatter the flower is, the more of it you see. This orchid looks like it's not opening up completely, but if you turn it around, you know, from the front, it doesn't show it that much. It's just from a particular angle that you cannot really see what's going on in the flower. It's not my favorite thing, but hey, I'm not all that picky. I love it. I would just prefer it a little bit more if it were open. I'm guessing though that the splashes make it so that it will never be flat. These types of orchids are usually not super flat ever because of the peloric trait. If the lip is pushed in front, the petals that are trying to imitate the lip are pushed in front as well, as you can see with this orchid. Now, after all of this time, you might ask yourself, but Danny, why isn't your orchid bushy and nice? Because you had such a nice bushy orchid to begin with. Yes, I actually divided it 2 times in my life. I don't remember who the second division was for really, but I did divide it twice. I was left with a smaller division, but that was okay because I had to move anyway and I needed to save some space. Problem is, all of my orchids were super stressed last year when we moved here. Some of them lost some older growths, older pseudobulbs, and I'm not sure if this one was one of them, but after 2 divisions and moving over, and actually I remember I cut away one of the bulbs just to test for fusarium last year. She's clean, at least that. But after all of this time, my divisions, the stresses, the fusarium, the everything, this is what I am left with, sadly. But from now on, I'm not gonna do anything to this orchid anymore. I finally have some really nice looking roots. I think she's taking well to semi-hydro. She's not gonna be divided. She's just not gonna be chopped away anymore. She's gonna reside in that pot forever. I'm kidding. But yeah, the fact that I have 3 blooms on display this year is an improvement from last year when I had 2 blooms. Mind you, this orchid can make 5 at least. So we're not there just yet. She still needs to recoup from all of the stress things that I put her through. But I think I'm on the right track and she will be okay from now on. And that's my little Hawaiian Splash Lea. Now I have to say this orchid is not necessarily super common. It's not very rare either. I mean, I know people who have it. But it's not extremely available. I hope you find it, though. If you really like it, it's absolutely worth it. It's an easy orchid. It's not finicky. I just messed up a lot with it. That's why it's tiny and it's looking like this. But it is a very, very forgiving orchid. So I definitely recommend it. I don't think it's going to be fragrant. And I also recommend that you do not treat it like a proper Cattleya. She absolutely hates being exposed to very, very high light. I do have a video on it, actually. I'll link you down below. I'll actually link you down below to all of the videos that I showed you and I mentioned, just so you can cringe a little bit with my older videos. But yeah, there you go. You can check everything in the description. So I would not place this orchid in very, very super high light like the other Cattleya orchids. She gets an unhealthy tinge, pigmentation. She doesn't look like she's having a good time. There's a difference between getting that nice anthocyanin pigmentation and a sickly just look to it. This one looks sick in very bright light, so I keep it more in oncidium light, intermediate light. She still resides on my southern side along with the other Cattleyas, but a row behind, so behind the front row of the Cattleyas. She gets dappled, filtered light, and she looks very happy. She's growing okay. She doesn't have any weird pigmentations or anything of the sort, so she's okay. I would suggest you do not put her in bright light like you would a Vanda or maybe a different type of Cattleya. Let's say a Laelia purpurata. Never put her in the same light. She's not gonna look good. Other than that, yeah, I hope you find her. If you like her, she's a joy to grow. And I'm happy I still have it after all of this mistreatment, let's say. So alrighty guys, this was the video for today. I just thought to make a little tribute to my wonderful, wonderful little Cattleya orchid, which I do love dearly, and I am really trying to give her a better life. So you know the drill. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe to my channel for regular, or actually daily, orchid videos. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a video. And with that said, I'll see you all next time. Bye!